if you didn't have to hang on to MA, but because it sits there, that's why you want to move it into a special needs trust with us. Is that right? I mean, why are you?
So I can keep my medical benefits.
Right. So you can keep your MA because you can't. They're counting it as an asset.
Right.
So if that's the case, it was never your money to begin with, and it wasn't inherited per se. It was placed in trust for
That's
you.
what, they don't want her to inherit it. Because we're working with a lawyer and with her mom's
Okay.
financial planner.
And who are you
this
working
is
with?
why-
What attorney are you working with?
Rebecca Olson.
Oh, Rebecca Olson.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
You came in through Rebecca Olson.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
she's
So
the one
let's
who sent
step
us
back
over
for a
here.
minute because I deal with so many many of these every day
I know.
that I tend to start to blend them together. So we're not talking about a special needs trust here. We're talking about a supplemental needs trust here. And the difference being, where did the money come from? Now,
Okay.
this is good news for you.
Okay.
So because you have a
Did you see me go white?
yeah,
for a
yeah, I
minute
did.
there?
I saw the blood leave your head, and I'm thinking, oh boy, I hope it's going to a good place. And they're the same thing except where the money comes from.
Okay.
That's the only difference. So if your mother, or who was your mother?
Her mother.
If your mother had left you this money upon her death, I'm assuming she's gone.
Right.
Right. And she had a will and she left you this money, you would inherit the money. And then you go, oh, geez, I got to put it in trust because I'm disabled, etc. That's called a special needs trust. In our case, it's pooled, but especially. And that's because the money became your money when your mother passed and the estate was probated.
Okay.
A supplemental needs trust is the same thing except the source of the money, it was never your money to begin with. It was your mother's money. You didn't inherit it because it was placed in trust for your benefit.
Right.
Now, what's the difference to the end is that upon your death, the money, because it was placed into trust, can go to your beneficiaries.
Because I read on there, that was my question. This type of trust requires a provision to reimburse the state upon the death of the individual.
Right. In a special needs trust, that's exactly right. 90% of the money goes to the state to pay for MA. 10% comes to us that goes into a sub-account to help other people.
Okay.
But in a supplemental, we still get 10% at the end, what's left. But your beneficiaries, if there's anything left, can get the rest of it.
Nice.
That's a huge difference.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is a good day.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing.
And you know this is a supplemental trust because of talking with Rebecca?
Yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
good.
Mhm.
We're leaving, you're talking to people that have like a grade school level of
Yes.
knowledge of what's going on here.
No, I
thank you.
understand.
And that's why we are just
Sure.
relying on Rebecca.
Oh, yeah,
She's
well,
been wonderful.
Yeah, no,
Wonderful
she's
for us.
she's good and she knows,
Yeah.
obviously what she's up to. But yeah, that's the good news. Has she looked at this trust and understands
She set it up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good, yeah.
She set
So
it
we're
up
good.
for
Yeah.
us.
And if I have any questions, I can just call her.
Yeah.
So that changes things, only to the extent that I brought down the wrong trust. But did you?
And we don't have the money to put in right now. It's
Okay.
the first part of the money is gonna be transferred over from a Fidelity fund.
Okay.
So that we'll have to set up with you contacting our Fidelity person
Right.
or sure her calling you.
Yeah, I just have her.
so-
You're going to need to sign a document that allows them to transfer the funds. I can't talk to them about your money. They're going to want to talk to me.
Okay, so you let us know what document that is.
So
and we
yeah,
can-
well, they'll have a document. So if you
Okay.
call your Fidelity office or wherever the
Okay.
money lives,
Yeah,
and tell them, here's the deal, I'm placing it into special supplemental needs trust.
And it has to be, we have to say it that way, the supplemental, not
Well,
a special needs trust, but
It's going to be made out. I'll tell you how it's going to be made out too. You should take a note on this. They can transfer it electronically or they can transfer it with a check. Doesn't matter. In here, I have a document for you that you would give to them that would tell them how to transfer it to us. That's the information they would do.
oh, okay, perfect.
And there, I forgot to even give you my card.
Oh,
Just read it right
perfect,
there.
perfect.
So,
I'll take this, yeah, because then I'll bring it over to her.
So that's how they transfer the funds.
Okay.
They can do it via check too, we don't care. But it's going to be LSS of MN for the benefit of FBO and then your legal name. That's how it has to be worded. Yeah, check will come to LSS of MN for the benefit of, or what they call FBO. Because the check doesn't, you can't write from here to
Tiffany
Mile
Road.
Out. Yeah.
Okay.
And then your full name, yeah. And that's how, whether they
Does
transfer.
it need her middle name or just Tiffany Rhodes' name?
Middle initial is probably a good idea.
L.
Yeah.
By now, YN.
Yeah. It's not bad to have the whole
Okay.
thing, that way there's no
So
confusion.
this is what they make the check out to, or the transfer to? Okay.
Yep. And that's pretty straightforward. Takes only, after we have the trust signed and the monies are received, the trust is open within 3-4 business days.
Oh,
So it goes
perfect,
very quick.
okay. So I'll go do that right away.
Um,
And then with that, we'll have another, because we also have this bank account too, that will be, we're fixing up her condo that her mom had lived in, and we'll be selling that. So this money is being used to fix up the condo, so then when the condo's done, this will be split up between herself and her sister. So then I'll be putting this money in too.
mhm,
And then when the condo sells, that money will be going in also.
As well, okay.
So,
So it's gonna come in pieces,
3 different pieces it'll come
and you
in.
expect the total to be somewhere around 60,000, is that what you're estimating?
No, the total will probably be closer to 80, I think, by when it's
Okay.
done. I don't know how much is in Fidelity right now.
I don't know anything.
I don't either.
Is that a 401k or an IRA? or
Right,
what is
yeah,
it?
it's a 401k.
401k,
Yeah.
okay. Oh, that's something to talk about, the 401k aspect. And that 401k is your 401k, Tiffany?
Mm-mm.
It was your mother's,
Right.
Mhm.
your mother's 401k. And is it a
Or
trust?
no, I'm lying. It was an IRA.
It's an IRA.
IRA, yeah.
And it's in trust now?
It's just sitting in her account still, her mom's
Okay.
account,
But
just waiting
Does
to
the
go.
trust say that, does the trust reference that that's the money that's supposed to be placed into trust?
That's what they're working on, yeah, that's what Rebecca and the financial planner have come to you for, because they know this money can come to you.
Right.
They, whichever one it is, because she had 4 different accounts with them.
Is there
So-
any, I might have talked to Rebecca on this, she would know, or the financial person would know. I'm just looking to see if there's any penalty for early withdrawal, but it doesn't sound like it.
No, they
Because
checked
it's an
through that too.
inherited,
Yeah,
placed into the, or not inherited, but in the trust, and your mom is gone, and she would have been over the age of 59 and a half anyway, so, yeah,
Yeah.
wouldn't matter. I just wanna make sure, because if, for example, it was your IRA, not your mother's, your IRA, and you were moving it into this trust, it would be a taxable event.
Okay.
And we'd have to take and withhold some money out of this pool
yeah,
to make sure we had enough money to pay the taxes.
right,
It's not an issue. I just wanna
No,
make
it's
sure
her
we
mom's
turn over
IRA.
every rock here so there's no surprises.
right, and that's what because she did pass away in January, and that's what they've been just picking through all the rocks.
Yeah.
To try to get it the best possible scenario
Outcome here,
for
sure.
Tiffany, yeah,
Yeah, well, that's,
Right.
it takes time to probate through things. I mean,
Right.
There's details.
right,
Okay, well, I think we're good with what I know so far, which is pretty much everything. I think what I'll do is I'll go upstairs and get the supplemental needs joinder agreement,
okay,
the document, and I will get the answers on the house. We want to know about the house down payment. We want to know about the rent paid from the trust. What was the other item we had? Rent from the trust. Oh, the house down payment, rent from the trust. Was there a
I
third
think that
item?
was it.
We think.
No, it's just, car, buying, we know we can't.
No, car you
Okay.
can buy, yeah.
Car you can buy, but not just for her, not for her kids, right?
Yeah, well, the kids are gonna ride in it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
But
I
they
mean,
can't be put in their name or anything?
No.
Okay, just in her name.
Yeah, you can't run out and buy, one big thing that comes up is at the holiday times, Person calls us and says, well, I want a $500 gift card, I'm going to the Mall of America to shop for my friends and family.
Okay, that's good to know. Okay,
Can't do it.
good to know.
You can go spend $500 on yourself, that'd be fun, but you can't buy gifts with it. So that's a case where I like to see these recurring expenses being paid from the trust. I mean, they're gonna get paid anyway. Why
Yeah.
use up the cash for that? That leaves you some of your own, what I call walking around money, to go and buy gifts and do some of the other things you wanna do.
That'll work.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
think
I
that's
think, the thing is, we make it work because when you call upstairs, you'll be assigned to one of 3 people, and you'll always talk to that person unless they're on vacation or ill, and somebody else will back them out. So you're not like, this is Tiffany, and you're who, and whatever, and they're in Mumbai, India, and you can't understand anything they're saying. They're right upstairs here. They're all from Iowa or wherever. So you all talk, you can understand them and all that. So you build a relationship, and we kind of tailor it to the person because everyone's different. Like you single have a couple kids, somebody else is an artist, and we supply them with art supplies for their hobby. Somebody else collects cars, and so we buy parts for their cars. I mean, it's as unique as any individual
That sounds wonderful.
can be. You know what I mean? So, we kind of really have to kind of have some rules, but we also then tailor it kind of to the individual because everybody's different. That's the excitement of it all. All right, so, I know what it was. If I talk long enough, I'll get it. We need a benefit summary on the SSDI so that you know what you can buy in general. But in general, keep this in mind. In general, the rule of thumb is that anything that public benefits don't pay for, the trust can pay for. As long as it's just for you.
Right.
So
Since I'm not on food stamps, then I can buy food. So really I can,
pretty much,
yeah.
not much you can't buy. SSI is a whole other animal. Whole other animal.
Okay.
Good.
And I just so I can breathe free, it's for sure a supplementary,
Supplemental needs
yeah,
trust.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
100% sure that.
Well, I'm relying on the fact of how you've described it to me. I'm calling it a supplemental
Okay.
needs trust.
Okay.
He's relying
I
on, you're
could-
saying your money comes from SSDI. Okay.
Well, and I'm
That's-
relying on the fact that your mother set up this trust and it was designed to pass the money to you without passing it to you as an inheritance. Which, I'm assuming, and I'll clear that with Rebecca to make sure.
Okay,
But
sure.
I'm about 99.5%.
Do you
sure.
want any copies of the trust? Would that?
I don't really need them.
Okay.
I'll leave that to Rebecca.
Okay.
And I won't know half what I'm reading anyway.
Okay.
Not being an attorney. And also, just from a privacy standpoint, we try and limit, the documents we need, but what we don't want hanging
Right.
around.
Well, it just seems everybody and their brother wanted.
Yeah, well, in
As
that,
we went
yeah, if
through
you're
this.
reviewing it, you do want a copy of it.
Yeah.
One thing you're gonna wanna sign is the W-9, so you could fill this out while I'm gone, which basically is your name, address, etc., and then a signature here and a date. And all this is doing is telling the IRS, we're telling the IRS through you, or you're telling the IRS through us, I should say, that this Social Security number that you write down is your number.
Okay.
Because at the end of the year, we're going to issue you a 1099, just like if you worked as an independent contractor or had a savings account or whatever. And the money you make in the trust is taxable under law, but only if you're in a taxable situation. In other words, if your total income places you in a taxable environment, where you make enough money that you have to pay taxes, this would then be taxable in that event. Doesn't affect a lot of our clients, quite frankly, but it can. It depends on where their sources of revenue and income are.
Okay.
So just
Do you
something.
have tax accountants people that help your clients here with their taxes?
No, we
You can
don't.
hire?
We
Or go to H&R Block or something.
yeah, we work with a lot with H&R Block for
Okay,
our clients,
great.
yeah, and others as well. I can't believe what H&R Block. I just heard this week at lunch what H&R Block charges. No wonder they're profitable. Look at clients with simple tax returns.
How much?
300,
Oh my
350.
gosh.
I'm like, I want to go to Finland where they have an 8.5 by 5.5 sheet of paper. I'm serious. You fill in what you owe, you sign it. If you owe money, you send in a check. If you don't, you send in the form. You're done. There's no accountants, CPAs, double whammies, probation, all this IRS. It's crazy. But we got a whole industry built around it. They like it just the way it is.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
The other thing you can look at, this is a handy dandy form. This is how do you want to use the money? And it allows you to think about the things that you're going to want to use it for. And that's an optional form, but it's there to help you and us serve you. This you have, right, which is the how to use a trust?
Yes.
Essentially, yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna run upstairs and get my little thing done. I'll be back,
Okay.
okay? And you guys can work on that a little bit.